I made my son these overalls for our family pictures. Let me show you how I did it. The fabric I'm using is some stretch denim that I had left over from another project, and I'm just using a pattern that I found on Etsy and cutting it out onto my fabric using my rotary cutter. The pattern is by a pattern company called The Ordinary Folk. It was really easy to put together. It's not a lot of pieces, and it was really fun. So fun that I would love to make another pair for him, especially maybe even out of this apple print that's going to be the inside lining and a pocket. The pattern says to serge a couple of edges like the pockets and the interior facing, so I went ahead and did that really quickly, and I was holding the baby while I was doing this, and look at his little toes just going. They're just wiggling away. So cute. If you're wanting to get a serger this year, I highly recommend checking out the secondhand market. I paid $40 for this machine and I absolutely love it. Highly recommend, but you have to get them serviced just to be sure that they're working properly once you buy one. I previously made myself jeans with this fabric and I used this top stitching thread, and I thought it would be really cute to kind of have some matching denim with my son. So I used the same top stitching thread and then I just ironed the pockets so they were nice and crispy. Now all the detail work is basically done and it's just time to assemble these. Once you get the hang of what's actually happening with these overalls, it's really easy and they come together pretty quick. I think I spent a total of like 6 hours sewing these. I would consider myself an experienced intermediate sewer, but if you are new to sewing, I still think you could totally do these. They're fairly easy and the instructions are really easy to follow, as well as if you have any questions, I know that the designer would be happy to help you with that. I decided to change what machine I was using just because my featherweight had a little bit of a hard time going through the denim. It is a thicker fabric and this 301 is just more powerful sewing machine. The overalls are basically done. I just have to do the finishing touches like putting the buttonholes in. This is a buttonholer. I have a full video on how to use this crazy contraption. I was so amazed when I used it. It was the first time that I used it on this machine and it worked beautifully. These are like the best buttonholes I've ever sewn in my entire life. A modern machine could never make buttonholes like this. After I sewed these buttonholes, I just sewed the buttons onto the other end of the top of the overalls and they were done. This is what we looked like for family photos. I'm obsessed with these overalls. Sorry about this weird footage. It was on the car, but everything came out so good and I couldn't be happier with this project.